Shading nets, a multifunctional tool for combating environmental adversity in the vineyard. Presented by Gabriele Cola, professor at the University of Milan.
In most wine-growing areas, climate change has led to an increase in stressful conditions for vines, with obvious repercussions on production. Plastic nets are an effective tool for active mechanical defense against hail, a meteorological phenomenon that is particularly damaging to vines and which, in the current climatic context, is of considerable concern to vine growers. The cost of installing nets has so far limited, at least partially, their diffusion, which could, however, increase if the other functions of this type of defense tool are taken into account. Nets, in fact, can perform an important defense function against multiple summer stresses, protecting leaves and bunches from thermal and radiation stresses and reducing transpiration during drought phases. We are in Adro, in Franciacorta, at the Fergettina winery, which for the last 2 years has been hosting a trial to evaluate the performance of anti-hail nets as a defense against environmental stresses.
In this trial, we test 4 nets characterized by different properties, both in terms of color and weft density. The anti-hail nets produced by Aragoni, a leading European company in technical textile applications and protective screens for agriculture, are made of polyethylene and meet the different requirements of the crops and the characteristics of the support structures adopted. In the specific case of the vineyard, due to the complex cultivation operations, the optimal solution for espalier forms of cultivation is the application of apron nets. The system adopted in this experiment allows the netting to be easily lifted up to allow management operations in the open position. The nets do not obstruct the passage of the over-row mechanical means, guaranteeing easy management of the vineyard. The shading sheets act directly on the microclimate of the canopy, reducing incident radiation in a manner consistent with the characteristics of the fabric. This results in an interesting lowering of the berry temperature in the shaded theses compared to the control. From a physiological point of view, a reduction in transpiration is also observed, which may prove useful in water deficit conditions, promoting a more conservative behavior in the plant. Photosynthesis is also reduced. Finally, in shaded theses, a slight lowering of fertility is observed with a reduction in the number of bunches. There is also an effect on sugars. In fact, considering normalized production values, the shaded theses have a reduction in sugar accumulation of between 10 and 40% compared to the control. On the other hand, there is no significant effect on the other quality parameters.
The results we have presented provide useful information on the effectiveness of nets as a means of defense against multiple summer stresses. The reduction of adverse environmental conditions favors a more regular course of development and ripening, with positive repercussions on the final product. In management terms, the choice of the time of coverage appears of fundamental importance to guarantee an optimal level of vine fertility. In conclusion, the potential multifunctionality of anti-hail nets is confirmed, proving to be an interesting tool for combating climatic adversities.
To stay up to date on the project, consult the dedicated website or our social pages.